My wife, to please her lover, forced me to kneel and beg to a dog. She even tied our daughter to a kite, pushed her off the bungee platform, and she fell to her death. As I knelt, pleading to save our daughter, she broke my limbs, swept our daughter's ashes into the trash can like garbage, and even stepped on them twice. In despair, I stole her core secrets and handed them to a rival, destroying her company overnight. She went mad, and in turn, kicked her lover off the bungee platform to his death. And she herself was run over by ruthless creditors on the roadside, after my wife forced me to kneel and beg for forgiveness to her male assistant's pet dog. Because Arnold's pet dog scared my daughter, I kicked it. My wife, Olivia Sterling, upon hearing the news, wanted to force me to kneel and apologize to Arnold's pet dog. She tied a kite to our daughter, took her to the bungee platform, and had Arnold push our daughter from 100 meters up. Watching the kite swaying in midair, Arnold clapped and cheered, and Olivia Sterling was all smiles when I arrived to save my daughter. I knelt before Arnold's pet dog in front of Olivia Sterling, pleading and begging them to release our daughter. HMPH, you dared to kick Arnold's dog. This is my punishment for you, on Arnold's behalf. Ultimately, the bungee cord snapped, and our daughter plunged to her death. I held my daughter, sobbing in desperate, heart-wrenching agony. Olivia Sterling, however, called useless, making a fuss. The daughter was just a mannequin I used to trick you, but she didn't know Arnold had secretly swapped the mannequin with our daughter. Holding my dying daughter, covered in blood, my head spun, and I burst into tears, unable to make a sound. Daddy, does mommy not like us? My daughter opened her eyes, raised her blood-stained little hand, and wiped away my tears. She softly told me not to cry. I picked up my daughter, and frantically ran towards the car. My daughter in my arms soon became still, just as I put her in the back seat, intending to rush from the resort to the hospital. Resort staff told me that the only road out of the resort had been blocked because a VIP was visiting. Following the direction the staff member pointed, I saw Olivia Sterling's luxury car, driven by her chauffeur, slowly moving forward, and Olivia Sterling was accompanying Arnold, walking ahead of the luxury car, enjoying the scenery, with a small corgi dog beside them, panting and hopping. I quickly opened the car door, and rushed to Olivia Sterling. Olivia, our daughter isn't going to make it. Please, quickly have the resort staff open the road. I was utterly distraught, my face soaked with tears and snot. Forcefully holding Olivia Sterling's hand, I pleaded desperately. Olivia Sterling looked at me with disgust, sneering. Darnell Miller, do you know how nauseated I feel every time I see you? Who gave you the audacity to interrupt Arnold and me enjoying the scenery? Arnold doesn't like you. Now get back. Disappear from Arnold's sight immediately. If you spoil Arnold's enjoyment of the view, even if you die 10 times over, it won't quench my hatred. Olivia Sterling said, and slapped me across the face. Then she gave me no chance to speak, ordering the bodyguards beside her to throw me to the roadside, not far away. Olivia Sterling carefully apologized to Arnold. I am sorry, Arnold. It's my fault for letting the dog appear before you and ruin your mood. Don't worry, I'll definitely make it up to you tonight. Arnold smiled and said, it's fine, Olivia, I wouldn't let him affect my mood. I got into the car in despair, stomped on the gas, and burst through the warning sign blocking the way. Finally, amidst screams, I sped past the convoy Olivia Sterling was with. Arnold, unable to dodge in time, fell to the ground, trembling in Olivia Sterling's arms like a startled kitten, his face pale. In the rearview mirror, I saw Olivia Sterling's ashen face. She half knelt on the ground, holding Arnold in her arms, silently watching my car drive away. Just as I arrived at the hospital, I saw a helicopter sweep over my head and land steadily on the hospital roof. I recognized it. It was Olivia Sterling's company's private jet. Arnold was injured from the fall. I rushed into the hospital, holding my daughter, sobbing and shouting, pleading with the doctors to save my daughter quickly. After a quick check, the doctor gently shook his head at me. Her injuries are too severe. Only 2 senior specialists in the hospital can treat her. I was so desperate I knelt before them, crying hysterically. I said to them, what are you waiting for? Please, quickly call those 2 specialists to save my daughter. The doctor's face was complex as he remained silent for a moment. He sighed and said, you came a step too late. Those 2 specialists were just called away. Their caller seemed to be someone very important. The hospital couldn't afford to offend them. I knelt rooted to the spot, my mind blank. A flicker of unease rose in my heart. Then I handed my daughter to the doctor and rushed all the way to the hospital's top floor. Sure enough, in a luxurious patient room, I found the two specialists who had been called away. When I clearly saw Arnold's face, I clenched my fists, trembling violently where I stood. It was him again. Arnold had fallen, and there was a scrape on his finger. Olivia Sterling stood by, her face filled with tenderness, covering Arnold's eyes with her hand, softly comforting him. Baby, just bear with it a little longer, it'll be all better soon. Even though it was just a scraped finger, Arnold, at this moment, seemed exceptionally brave. He shook his head, motioned for Olivia Sterling to let go, and bravely said, "It's okay, Olivia, I am not in pain." I ran to Olivia Sterling. Without a word, I knelt before her, pleading, "Olivia, quickly have them save our daughter. Our daughter's injuries are very serious. She's been bleeding constantly." When Olivia Sterling saw me, the anger she had suppressed finally found its outlet. She kicked me in the chest, sending me sprawling to the ground. Intense pain, accompanied by waves of suffocation, surged through my mind. Olivia Sterling stood over me, pointing, and cursed. "If it weren't for you, the dog, crashing through the checkpoint, how would Arnold have been startled and injured? How dare you even come to the hospital to cause trouble? Guards, break his limbs." At Olivia Sterling's command, I was dragged to the doorway by two bodyguards, and they brutally broke my limbs. Olivia Sterling walked out, her arms crossed, and lifted her foot to step on my face. Her cold tone like a millennia-old chilling wind scraping across my heart. "You worthless dog. If anything happens to Arnold, it'll take your life." Before I passed out from the pain, I faintly heard someone ask Ms. Sterling, "Ms. Sterling, should we leave someone to look after him?" Olivia Sterling scoffed. "Don't worry, this worthless dog has 9 lives. He won't die. Such a punishment is light for him. Is Arnold all right?" The other person whispered, "Arnold just has a small cut on his finger. It'll be fine after disinfecting and bandaging." Olivia Sterling's voice rang out again. "Drag him away. Don't let Arnold see him, so he doesn't taint Arnold's eyes." When I opened my eyes, Arnold was already bandaged, and had gone home with Olivia Sterling on a private jet, and our daughter, due to delayed treatment, ultimately suffered immensely and passed away in the dimly lit hospital room. Before she died, I didn't even get to see her one last time. When I learned her body had been sent to the crematory, ignoring the pain in my body, I crawled out of the hospital and took a taxi to get there. The moment I saw my daughter, she was already in an urn. I collapsed onto the floor, holding the urn, crying inconsolably, "My condolences." The crematory staff offered a few words of comfort, then hurried away. Looking at the cold urn in my arms, I felt only darkness for the rest of my life. After getting my daughter's death certificate, I lay in the hospital for a full month. During that time, Olivia Sterling didn't call me once. Through social media feed, I saw Olivia Sterling with Arnold every day. In the photos, the woman was beaming with happiness. They looked so perfect together. I remembered back in college. It was Olivia Sterling who meticulously planned a grand proposal ceremony for me at the graduation. She wore a white wedding dress, holding a bouquet of flowers. Amidst the uproar and cheers of the entire faculty and student body, she knelt on one knee and proposed to me. After we married, she was incredibly caring and attentive towards me. Even if I accidentally cut my hand while cooking, she would get terribly anxious. All of this changed completely when Arnold appeared by Olivia Sterling's side as her assistant. Half a month later, I was barely able to walk, so I returned home with my daughter's urn. Olivia Sterling was wearing a smooth, soft silk robe, which accentuated the breathtaking curves of her legs, and Arnold was lazily lying on her lap, eating grapes that Olivia Sterling had peeled for him. Once upon a time, she used to feed me fruit like that too. I held my daughter's urn expressionlessly, ignoring the two on the sofa. Olivia Sterling's mocking voice rang out, "Baby, did you see that? I told you his worthless life is tough. He can't die. Looks like I didn't hit him hard enough at the hospital last time." Olivia Sterling's words made Arnold burst out laughing. Olivia Sterling stood up, blocking my way, and said coldly, "What are you holding?" I was long past caring. She slapped me across the face, angrily demanding, "Daniel Miller, I am talking to you, are you deaf?" I stood there, looking at Olivia Sterling, whose beautiful eyes were filled with frost, and softly said, "This is our daughter Lily Miller's urn." After I spoke, a hint of shock appeared on Olivia Sterling's face. Then another slap came. The immense force made my ears ring, and I couldn't help but stumble back a step. HMPH, Daniel Miller, wasn't it just a beating by bodyguards at the hospital? Who told you to cause Arnold's injury? How dare you curse our daughter? Arnold also nodded, echoing, Daniel, as Lily's father. How can you say such things about your own daughter? Too much. Lily is so cute, and he holding a box, saying it's Lily's ashes. Olivia Sterling's face grew colder. She snatched the urn from my arms, and violently smashed it to the ground. Olivia Sterling, crazy. I collapsed to the ground, shielding my daughter's ashes with my body. Olivia Sterling raised her foot, and stomped hard on my back. She showed no mercy. A few stomps on my back made me cough up blood. Where's the maid? Quickly, sweep up this flour and throw it in the trash can by the door. At Olivia Sterling's command, I watched with my own eyes as my daughter's ashes were swept away by the maid with a broom. Arnold even volunteered, snatching the broom from the maid, and emptying it into the trash can outside the door. Seeing all this done, Olivia Sterling was finally satisfied. Tomorrow night is Arnold's birthday. Bring our daughter to attend. If anything goes wrong tomorrow night, don't blame me for being unkind. With that, Olivia Sterling took Arnold's hand and left. Before leaving, Arnold's lips curled into a meaningful, provocative smile at me. Through his lip reading, I read 2 words, worthless. The next evening, Olivia Sterling spared no expense to host a birthday gala for Arnold at the most famous exclusive club in the area. For this, she invited many wealthy businessmen under the lights. Olivia Sterling wore a sexy, form-fitting black gown, revealing half of her fair, flawless back. In front of everyone, she intimately linked arms with Arnold and walked towards me. Olivia Sterling glanced around beside me, not seeing our daughter. Her voice was icy as she glared at me furiously. Where's our daughter? Didn't I tell you to bring her? You useless person, you can't even handle a small task. I raised my bloodshot eyes and looked at Olivia Sterling, my voice hoarse. I said to her, our daughter died the day you and Arnold pushed her off the bungee platform, flying her like a kite. The flower you had the maid sweep out was our daughter Lily Miller's ashes. In front of everyone, she splashed the wine from her glass onto my face, raising her voice to curse at me. Daniel Miller, can't you stop being so childish? I am warning you, that's enough. Who do you think you are, to be jealous of Arnold and argue with me? I order you, immediately, bring our daughter here. If it weren't for our daughter's sake, you wouldn't even be qualified to attend Arnold's birthday gala. I stood there blankly, unmoved. Around me, many people were pointing, laughing, and whispering about me. Don't look at how impeccably dressed he is. In Ms. Sterling's heart, he's not even as good as Arnold's pet dog. He's completely disgraced all men. Why doesn't such a spineless man just disappear? In my opinion, Arnold and Ms. Sterling are the most suitable couple. Faced with the overwhelming torrent of humiliating words from those around me, Olivia Sterling showed no intention of defending me. Instead, she watched me with amusement. Arnold likewise had a gleeful smile, raising an eyebrow at me in a provocative manner. Olivia Sterling, with a sarcastic smile, said, "Did you hear that? In my eyes, you're not even worth as much as a dog." Arnold pouted and walked to Olivia Sterling, softly saying, "Olivia, how can you talk about Daniel like that? Daniel, don't make Olivia upset anymore. Just apologize to her." Then he walked to me, in a voice only we could hear. He said, "Daniel Miller, if you know what's good for you, get away from Olivia immediately. Olivia can only be mine, you worthless dog. You'll never be worthy of Olivia." I looked at Arnold with an indifferent expression. He then, like a woman, put on a pitiful expression that almost melted Olivia Sterling's heart. "Oh, right, I forgot to tell you something." Arnold gave me a strange smile, then he turned and glanced at Olivia Sterling. His voice dropped even lower as he said to me, "Actually, the day I deliberately swapped the mannequin with your daughter, and I was the one who tampered with the bungee cord to make it snap. How about it? Wasn't the kite I flew beautiful?" Hearing this, my mind went blank, and fury surged in my chest. The next moment, I let out a roar, like a crazed beast, and swung my fist at Arnold's face. He deliberately didn't dodge. One punch sent him to the ground, blood streaming from his face. Arnold, enduring the pain, covered his face and said to me tearfully, "Daniel, I was just telling you not to make Olivia angry. Why did you hit me? If it makes you happy, you can hit me." Arnold said, swaying, and stood up. I lunged at him, kicking and punching Arnold like a madman. You beast. Give me back my daughter's life. Olivia Sterling's eyes practically blazed with fire. She cursed at me. How dare you hit Arnold? Daniel Miller, you're looking for death. Olivia Sterling had the bodyguards pull me away from Arnold, then picked up a wine bottle and smashed it hard on my head. The bottle shattered, and wine spilled everywhere. The rich wine, mixed with the blood from my head, ran down my face. Olivia Sterling quickly shielded Arnold behind her. She tenderly caressed Arnold's blood-streaked face, her heart nearly breaking. Baby, are you okay? I am sorry. It's my fault. I never imagined he'd attack you like a mad dog. Arnold, like a victor, held Olivia Sterling's hand and gently said, Olivia, as long as Daniel stops upsetting you, even taking a beating from him is worth it to me. Olivia Sterling's face darkened. She walked up to me and kicked me hard in the face. Daniel Miller, this time, no matter what, I won't forgive you, and I've already warned you. Arnold's dog is very important to him. No matter where you are, you mustn't overshadow Arnold or his dog. Are you just ignoring what I say? Why do you have to dress better than Arnold's dog and steal its thunder? Guards. Olivia Sterling waved her hand. Strip him naked. Intense dizziness made me unable to struggle. Olivia Sterling had the bodyguards strip me naked in front of everyone. At the birthday gala, the crowd burst into laughter, watching me being stripped, seeing my humiliated state. Olivia Sterling finally looked somewhat satisfied. She softly said, take your clothes, and get out of Arnold's party immediately. Don't let me see you again. Arnold's small corgi, dressed in pretty clothes, also bared its teeth and barked incessantly at me. I walked out of the gala distraught, Arnold's words echoing in my mind. So our daughter was deliberately killed by Arnold. I couldn't imagine how terrified my daughter must have been when Arnold pushed her off the bungee platform. When the rope snapped, how much despair did she feel? Arriving at the gala entrance, I put on my clothes and calmly took out my phone. Hello, I agree. Come pick me up. The other party was silent for a moment, then spoke with joy. That's wonderful. You're finally willing to accept me. I've been waiting for you. Tonight, I'll have someone buy your ticket to Australia. 2 hours later, I finished my last task. I went to the airport for my flight, and the plane quickly took off from the runway, heading towards Australia. When I arrived at the Australia airport, I finally opened my phone. I saw over a dozen calls from Olivia Sterling, accompanied by hundreds of messages, flooding my phone screen. Why aren't you home? Where did you take my daughter? Daniel Miller, no matter where you are, I order you to come home immediately, or I'll have the bodyguards break your limbs again. I ignored Olivia Sterling's calls and messages. I looked at the beautiful woman in a white dress, smiling as she walked towards me from a distance. Daniel Miller, I've waited 7 years for you. Her gaze was filled with affection, and her voice carried the joy of seeing a rainbow after a storm. I calmly took a file folder from my suitcase and handed it to her. Michelle Davis, these are the proofs of Arnold's illegal activities and crimes at Olivia Sterling's company. Besides that, there are also Olivia Sterling's company's core secrets. Michelle Davis took it casually, appearing indifferent. I frowned and asked, these are things you once coveted, even promising to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to buy from me. Now I am giving them to you for free, and you don't look happy at all. Michelle Davis shook her head and said, years ago, Olivia Sterling took you away from me. At that time, I swore I would spend my entire life getting back what I lost. All these years, I've opposed Olivia Sterling at every turn, dreaming of her family's ruin and her company's collapse. All I wanted was to win you back. Now that you're back, what's the point of these things? I stood there, my emotions tangled. My daughter's death felt like a piece had been torn from my life. Michelle Davis extended her soft, smooth hand and gently took mine. This time, I didn't resist, allowing her to lead me by the hand as we slowly left the airport. In the empty, desolate mansion, Arnold, overly joyous tonight and unable to hold his liquor, drank himself into a stupor. Olivia Sterling, barely conscious, kept checking her phone. Was I too harsh? Olivia Sterling looked bewildered, since she had me stripped, humiliated, and kicked out of Arnold's birthday gala. 4 or 5 hours had passed, during which she made dozens of calls and sent countless messages. All of them, without exception, disappeared without a trace. No response was received. Before, no matter where I was, as long as Olivia Sterling attended a gala or business dinner, and called when she was drunk, I would rush home immediately to prepare ham over soup and her favorite dishes. Every time she came home hungry and sat down to eat at the dining table, I would stand within her reach, massaging her shoulders and back. Tonight, she had just returned home, only to be met by a dark and cold living room. "Daniel, where the hell are you? Where's our daughter?" Olivia Sterling, who had not received a reply for a long time, slammed the phone in her hand onto the floor. Arnold opened his eyes and said uncomfortably, "Olivia, where is Daniel Miller? Why isn't he here to serve us? I am hungry." Olivia Sterling, left with no choice, had to cook herself. She, who never lifted a finger, made a chaotic mess in the kitchen. Finally, she sat down at the coffee table, sweating, with a bowl of thick, soupy noodles. Arnold, a picky eater, sniffed the indescribable steam, and like a spoiled child, pushed the noodles aside. "Never mind, Olivia, let's eat out. I want seafood, and sliced roasted duck." Olivia Sterling, who had always doted on Arnold, impatiently waved her hand. "Ive had too much to drink. I am not in the mood. Go to sleep." For the next week and a half, Olivia Sterling completely lost track of me. She mobilized all her local connections, racking her brain to find my whereabouts. "You bunch of good-for-nothings. Where could a living person have gone? And my daughter, where did Daniel Miller take her?" Olivia Sterling was furious, putting on a strong front in front of others. In reality, her heart was already filled with fear and unease from losing track of us. It was only then that she realized, with my absence from her side, the longing buried deep within her surged forth like an ocean. Her subordinate stood trembling before her. "I am sorry, Ms. Sterling. We've searched everywhere Daniel Miller might go, including his hometown. Neighbors told us Daniel Miller hasn't been back since his parents passed away." Olivia Sterling froze. A phrase one once said to her surfaced from the depths of her memory. "Olivia, you and our daughter are the last remaining family I have in this world." When she was agitated, Arnold arrived, making a loud commotion outside. "Get out of my way. Don't you know who I am? I am looking for my Olivia, and if you dare to stop me again, I'll have Olivia fire all of you." Arnold pushed past the employees in front of him, and, as if entering his own home, burst into Olivia Sterling's office. "Olivia, what's wrong with you? For the past week and a half, why have you been paying less and less attention to me? You weren't like this before." Olivia Sterling looked at Arnold coldly. For some reason, looking at this man now, a hint of revulsion rose in her heart. He couldn't do anything, like a demanding child, constantly waiting to be fed. "I've been a bit busy lately, you should go back first." Olivia Sterling looked at Arnold, not even bothering to maintain a smile. Arnold grabbed Olivia Sterling's hand and softly said, "Olivia, are you looking for Daniel Miller? You can't hide it from me. Now that Daniel Miller is gone, we should be happy." Olivia Sterling pulled her hand away and said indifferently, "That's your happiness." Arnold could feel that Olivia Sterling was drifting further and further away from him during this time. Just as Arnold was about to say something else, a delivery driver walked to the door. He took out the package in his hand. "Excuse me, are you Ms. Olivia Sterling?" Mr. Daniel Miller asked me to deliver this package to you." Olivia Sterling, agitated, quickly took the package. She opened it and saw several items inside. Her daughter's death certificate, and the cremation certificate. The rest were, surprisingly, a voice recorder and a USB drive. The voice recorder contained every word Arnold had said to me in private over the years. As for the USB drive, it was full of evidence of Arnold's embezzlement and illegal activities within the company, leveraging his assistant position, as well as her company's core secrets. Olivia Sterling picked up the death certificate when her gaze shifted and landed on the name Lily Miller. There was a clatter. Olivia Sterling instantly turned ashen, collapsing to the floor, one hand clamped over her mouth, tears streaming down her face. "Our daughter, how can this be? How can our daughter be dead? Could it be that Daniel Miller wasn't lying to me? Everything he said to me the day at the resort and the hospital, was it all true?" Olivia Sterling's emotions shattered, and she let out a heart-wrenching scream. Arnold's face drastically changed as he looked at the items before him. He tried to snatch the voice recorder and USB drive from the package, restrain him. Olivia Sterling, heartbroken, picked up the voice recorder. Arnold's private provocations towards me, and then that night, how Arnold deliberately provoked me, confessing that he had swapped the mannequin with our daughter, and that he had intentionally broken the bungee cord. These words hammered heavily into Olivia Sterling's heart. Her hair disheveled, her eyes bloodshot, she glared at Arnold. So, it was all you. You killed Daniel Miller's and my daughter. No wonder that day at the resort, you repeatedly stopped me and even had the senior specialists from that hospital called away. Arnold's lips trembled in fear as he backed away from the frenzied Olivia Sterling. That very night, Olivia Sterling immediately took Arnold by private jet to the resort where he had killed their daughter. Arnold, tied up, stood trembling on the bungee platform. Olivia, please spare me. I'll never dare to do it again. You love me so much. How could you bear to hurt me? Arnold collapsed onto the bungee platform. He was shaking like a leaf. Olivia Sterling aimed her phone camera at Arnold and said sorrowfully, Daniel Miller, IVE avenged our daughter. Soon, the bodyguards pushed him to the edge of the bungee platform, seeing that begging was useless. A completely despairing Arnold, his eyes bloodshot, laughed maniacally. Ha ha, Olivia Sterling, even if you kill me, your daughter won't come back to life. To tell you the truth, I deliberately swapped the mannequin with your daughter. I wanted to kill her. Why should Lily Miller be your and Daniel Miller's child? Only if she dies can I have a true daughter with you. How about it? Wasn't it beautiful, watching your daughter swing around like a kite that day, only to fall to her death? And you were even clapping and cheering. Ha ha ha. Olivia Sterling screamed, telling the bodyguards to push Arnold down. Arnold, rapidly falling, continued to laugh, finally hitting the ground and exploding into a bloody mess before everyone's eyes. Daniel Miller, I am sorry. Olivia Sterling was in tears, sitting alone on the ground as if abandoned by the entire world. At this moment, the driver walked behind her and whispered, Ms. Sterling, we've found Daniel Miller. He's in Australia, with a woman named Michelle Davis. Olivia Sterling's gaze was blank. She repeatedly mumbled Michelle Davis' name. Quickly get me a ticket. I am going to Australia. I am going to bring Daniel Miller back. Olivia Sterling stumbled to her feet, crying as she ran towards the foothills. When she saw me again, Michelle Davis and I were at the horse ranch, riding a horse named Lady Andre, enjoying the quiet evening. Looking at Olivia Sterling, who was dusty and looked several years older, I was expressionless, casually asking, what are you doing here? Olivia Sterling's eyes were red, and her voice had a slight tremor. Daniel Miller, when did you get together with this woman? IVE come to take you home. I know the whole truth now. IVE killed Arnold to avenge our daughter. I was wrong. Daniel Miller, please come back with me. I sneered. Who I am with, does it concern you? Didn't you say you hated me? Now IVE disappeared from your world forever, just as you wished, leaving Arnold to you, and now you're unhappy. Olivia Sterling knelt before me. She sobbed uncontrollably, all traces of her former spirit and confidence gone. Daniel Miller, I love you. Please give me a chance to atone. I'll give you the company. As long as you forgive me, you can have anything you want. Michelle Davis, why did you steal Daniel Miller from me? Olivia Sterling screamed hoarsely. She had lost her daughter, and finally, she had lost me. Michelle Davis gently shook her head, calmly saying, I didn't steal him. Daniel Miller willingly came back to me. In fact, I should thank you. I once thought I'd never be able to have Daniel Miller back in my life. You pushed him into my arms yourself. Olivia Sterling, if Daniel Miller wants to leave with you, I won't say another word. Michelle Davis finished speaking. Both women instinctively looked at me. I didn't disappoint Michelle Davis. Without a moment's hesitation, I shook my head directly. Olivia Sterling, get lost. To my surprise, this time, Olivia Sterling had come with firm resolve. Seeing my firm attitude, she showed no intention of leaving. As Michelle Davis and I watched in surprise, Olivia Sterling pulled out a small knife and plunged it forcefully into her chest. Blood instantly gushed out, staining her clothes red. Olivia Sterling, suppressing her pain, said to me forlornly, Daniel Miller, I know you hate me. Now I'll repay everything I owe you. If I can't take you with me, what's the point of going back alone? Only a life with you by my side is truly living for me. As she spoke, the small knife in her hand pierced her body again. I shook my head and softly said, lunatic. Then I squeezed my legs. The horse beneath me circled Olivia Sterling and calmly rode forward. Michelle Davis, in my arms, was silent for a moment, then sighed and said, husband, should we have someone take her to the hospital? It would be too unsettling if she died here. I nodded. Okay, whatever makes you happy. Olivia Sterling, severely injured and unconscious, was sent to a local hospital by people we called. She had stabbed herself 3 or 4 times after a night of emergency treatment. Olivia Sterling finally moved out of critical condition. As soon as she woke up, Olivia Sterling, ignoring the hospital's warnings, dragged her weak body back to the horse ranch. Little did she know, Michelle Davis and I had already sold this horse ranch. She waited anxiously for over a month, collapsing into unconsciousness countless times. Every time she was sent to the hospital, she would relentlessly come back here to wait for me. Olivia Sterling thought I would still appear here. It wasn't until the new owner took over the horse ranch and informed Olivia Sterling that we had already left that she reluctantly departed. For the next 6 months, Olivia Sterling didn't return to the country, not even involving herself in her own company's affairs. All her energy was dedicated to searching the world for me. Meanwhile, Michelle Davis and I had already returned to the country. We bought a piece of land in the southern countryside and lived a secluded life. After half a year of fruitless searching for me, Olivia Sterling went back. With my consent, Michelle Davis handed Arnold's criminal evidence over to the police. The police raided overnight, swiftly seizing Olivia Sterling's company. Her initial indulgence had allowed Arnold to act recklessly, using his position to commit numerous misdeeds. Now, with the police possessing the evidence, the hidden bomb buried deep within Olivia Sterling's company completely detonated. Seeing that Olivia Sterling had lost everything, the company's board of directors convened a meeting and removed her from her position as chairperson. In less than a year, Olivia Sterling plummeted from heaven to hell. She incurred massive debts and was forced to sell the mansion and luxury cars to repay them. One day, I was tending the garden in front of my door. Michelle Davis walked up behind me and whispered, "Daniel, Olivia Sterling is in the hospital. Friends say her condition is extremely critical. Her last wish is to see you." I hadn't heard any news about Olivia Sterling in a long time. I couldn't help but ask curiously, "What happened?" Michelle Davis calmly replied, "She was hit by a car driven by ruthless creditors. When her company faced collapse, the board of directors bought off her employees. They then stripped her of her chairperson title and pushed all the company's debts onto her. She's had a terrible year, a kind of retribution, I suppose. Even after selling the mansion and luxury cars and everything else, she still owed a lot of money. A couple of days ago, the creditors found her. They not only hit Olivia Sterling with their car, sending her flying, but also got out and stabbed her twice." I waved my hand, interrupting Michelle Davis. Hearing about Olivia Sterling's miserable fate, my heart remained remarkably calm, without a single ripple. This was Olivia Sterling's retribution. "Michelle, do you want me to go?" I asked the elegant, beautiful woman beside me. She smiled, saying, "I want to see her. After all, she and I have been at odds for many years. Regardless, I want to put a period on this matter." I nodded, then drove Michelle Davis to the hospital where Olivia Sterling was. A year later, seeing Olivia Sterling again, she lay dying on the hospital bed. Now, she couldn't even afford her medical bills. I took Michelle Davis' hand, pushed open the door, and walked in, looking at Olivia Sterling before me. In the end, a touch of melancholy still stirred in my heart. The once glorious and arrogant Olivia Sterling now looked like a stray dog. "Daniel, you here." Olivia Sterling was emotional. She looked disheveled, tears streaming down her face. "I knew you'd come to see me." I shook my head, saying indifferently, "You overthinking it. My wife, Michelle Davis, simply wanted to see you, and I accompanied her." Olivia Sterling was still very happy. Every time she coughed, large streaks of blood appeared in her mouth. I walked to the hospital bed. Olivia Sterling, using all her strength, grabbed my hand. Just as I was about to pull away, Michelle Davis subtly shook her head at me. Olivia Sterling choked out, "Daniel, I am atoning for the mistakes I made. I am sorry. I lost you." I replied, "What's lost is lost. What good is regret now? I'll never forget the day you and Arnold killed our own daughter. By the way, Michelle Davis and I got married 3 months ago. She's already pregnant with my child." Olivia Sterling parted her lips, her bright eyes dimmed with my words. I couldn't be bothered to say anything more. I said to Michelle Davis, "Michelle, you've seen her. Let's go. We shouldn't let our child be exposed to anything unsettling." Michelle Davis and I had just stepped out of the hospital room. Many doctors rushed in right after. This time, Olivia Sterling couldn't be saved. She died in the emergency room. When I heard the news, I smiled faintly. Olivia Sterling was the end of the first half of my life. Michelle Davis is the beginning of the rest of it.